పద్ధతి తీసుకొచ్చిన బెటర్ వారంటీ క్లాసులు ఉండి ఇబ్బంది పడతాం తీసుకొచ్చి మరి తెంపడి మోన్ వస్తున్నది ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు ఆపేడా అది రావట్లేదా guys please confirm to me all of you read my voice and screen those who are attending in online am I audible guys please confirm to me all of you read my voice and screen those who are attending in online please confirm to me guys all of you read my voice and screen those who are attending in online guys please confirm to me all of you read my voice and screen those who are attending in online guys please respond to me all of you read my voice and screen those who are attending in online charge the right sir and check it what we completed there in the last session so what we completed in the last session all right sir and then I'm requesting to all of you so don't play with the projectors from my request I can't do anything apart from this all right it's unnecessary disturbance to us the problem is last 2 days onwards I'm observing there in your batch only it is switching off in the remaining batches it is working continuously okay if you thought of it at morning time it is a problem there but evening also I'm taking classes almost all 3 o'clock onwards up to 9 o'clock it is coming continuously again might be that the person is coming here now what he is asking to me if it is a case no then I will take this projector also give 1 week of time then after that I will bring both the projectors how I'm going to take the classes no so don't play with that why because already we changed that motherboard and everything for that projector then again we are using it but if you are switching off it and again if you switch on it no we thought of it that motherboard is again failed again we have to send that for the repair no don't play with that I'm requesting for all of you know where is my hero cancel admission cancel right sir it's unnecessary disturbance to all of you know don't do that I know that you are very good technical you are having good knowledge on all the electronic devices I know that I'm giving certificate if you require announcement inside the class I will give you announcement of your name also no problem from Durgasoft label I'll give certificate you are more knowledgeable person but stop that process there why because struggling a lot by thinking about it simple solution if it is repeated what I have to do I'll cancel 1 week of time all my classes totally even I'm not going to take class in online if it is the case what I have to do now right don't play with the projectors Then at the same time, unable to monitor each and every person. Otherwise, I have to recruit 2 to 3 employees to rotate inside the class now. Those who are doing this kind of activities can. Please don't do such kind of disturbances now. It's for the sake of you only I'm taking these classes. Why I'm getting clarity on this now? Last 2 days onwards, I'm observing this. In our batch only, it's switching off and switching on. All remaining batches, it's going on continuously. Then what I have to think about it? But who is doing that? I'm not thinking about it, even not at all required. Okay, but don't do such kind of thing. For the sake of you only, I'm taking classes. It's disturbance to everybody. Okay, right, sir. It's okay. Already late. Totally. Don't worry. I'll plan for it. How I'm going to conduct the class. Don't worry for it. Now coming to the inter-thread communication, the topic. Inter-thread communication, the topic here we are understanding. So what is this inter-thread communication actually? What is the need of it? Say for example, I want to travel from Hyderabad to Mumbai. Don't ask me for what purpose, sir. My own purpose. So one of my girlfriend is staying at Mumbai. So I have to visit her. Don't ask me for what purpose we are visiting now, right? You have everything is doubt only. I know that. Okay. Okay, fine. So, why you are thinking about it? Only you're having girlfriend. Don't you think about it? Myself, I'm having girlfriend now. Definitely. Actual thing is what there in Mumbai there is a seminar on Java. New technology seminar is there on Java. There's a new girlfriend. I have to meet with her, right? That's why I'm planning for it. Okay, James Gosling wants to take that seminar. He's not my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend is different. Fine. So anyway, I want to travel in bus. I don't want to go for any other options. Just I want to travel through bus. That's my requirement. So I have booked some ticket when I travels. So at just before my Thiruvanam, in front of this building, there is a bus. Okay, fine. The bus timing is what there, 7 o'clock evening. A bit earlier, I completed my dinner and just I came to the station, that bus center, bus stop. Then where bus is already existed, then I have to get inside the bus. Okay, fine. I was inside the bus now. I'm inside the bus. All right, bus is ready to start, waiting for the driver. Then what I observed actually inside the bus, I identified two drivers instead of one driver. Two drivers. I thought of it. Why two drivers are coming inside the bus? Both the drivers are able to drive the bus at a time. I thought of it. Why both the drivers are available? Good. There after that I realized that they will share their job. Both the drivers may continue the total journey by having some shifts. As per the shifts only, they are going to drive the bus. Finally, they will complete their journey. Okay, fine. By that I understood what exactly the plan, what they are having about to complete the journey. Fine. Let's assume it. Two drivers. You can understand it. No, what are the who are the two drivers here? This is like what their X driver, and this is like what their Y driver. Two drivers are available. Both the drivers are having some time chart. Time chart, scheduling chart is available. What exactly the scheduling chart for both the drivers know? Now the time is what there 7 o'clock. 8, 9, 10. Next one is 1 point. 11, 12, 1. Another part. Next one is what there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Another part. Next one is what there? 6, 7, 8. Another part. Like this. This is the schedule what we are having. Right, sir. The same time scale is available for Y driver also. Same time scale is available for what there? Y driver also. Finally, both the drivers are having their own time scheduling. Right, X driver and Y driver. Got it. Next one is after that. First of all, what happened there? Both the drivers must have communication. In the case if the drivers are not having communication, if the drivers are not having communication, how it is possible to complete the total journey? Journey is nothing but a task. The task could be performed by two threads. Who are the two threads? No, X thread and Y thread. Remember this point. Drive a bus. Drive a bus is the task. Journey is the task. Okay, fine. First of all, understand the journey without having proper communication between the drivers. Both the drivers are working in the same department, same RTC department. So once both are experienced drivers only, they had nearly 25 to 30 years of experience in the same route in the buses now. So as they worked with the same department from the long time, definitely they had some clashes. Now they are not having good communication. Yes, sir, got my point or not? They are not having good communication. Understand it clearly. So when they're not having good communication, when they're not having proper communication, how they're able to complete their journey? Both are strict on their journey, both are not having good communication, both are having some clashes, for example, both are listening their opposite person's word, then how the journey is going to be completed? At 7 p.m. they have to start the bus. Unfortunate thing is both the drivers will come to the steering. Both the drivers will take that steering. One driver wants to turn the bus in the right side, other driver wants to turn the bus in left side. What is going to be happen? Okay, at least they're having their hands on steering now. Unfortunately, after some time duration, both the drivers are far away from steering. Nobody is at the steering. How the bus is going to be driven? Of course, in the movies, maybe some other third power will come there. That power will drive the bus. That's okay, different story. A ghost will come there, right? Leave it now. But here, communication is not available. That's the main point here. When communication is not available, both the drivers wants to take a rest at a time. Both the drivers wants to come to the steering at a time. So this is not the way of completing our journey. So where what is missing when both the drivers are coming to the steering, when both the drivers are left from steering in the sense, what is missing between these two drivers? No, the communication is missing or not? The proper communication is missing or not? Understand my point clearly? All right, sir. Okay, now I will give the same point in another direction. If both the drivers are friends, they are working with the same department from the long time. Of course, in the middle they had some clashes, they separated and they resolved it, and now they are very good friends. Then they're the best of friends. Then if it is a situation, then what will happen? X driver will say to the Y driver, "Arey, don't worry. Next to 3 hours of time, I will drive the bus. You should take the rest. I will drive the bus. Then you should take the rest in the next 3 hours of time care. No need to think much about it." Then immediately what X driver will do, X driver will come to the driver's seat and X driver will start bus driving. When X driver is taking the responsibility, what is the status of the Y driver, sir? Now tell me. The status of the Y driver, he is in waiting state or not? Come on, sir. Now he is in waiting state or not? Definitely that X Y driver is in what there? Waiting state. When the X driver is taking the steering, automatically that Y driver is in what state? No, waiting state here. Understand it clearly. Okay, when Y driver is in waiting state, X driver started his journey. It's going on, going on, going on. After how much time he has taken the steering? No, how much time he has taken the steering there? Nearly 3 hours of time. 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. He drive the bus. When he drive the bus, no, when the time is 10 o'clock, then immediately, already Y driver is in waiting state, no? Immediately, X driver must give a notification to Y driver. What is that notification here? Here, my turn is completed now. I need to take rest. So that's why I'm giving a notification to you. you have to come to the steering, then we have to drive the bus the next time period. So here X driver must give a notification. Next, X driver must give what there? A notification to the Y driver. Now Y driver is in waiting state or not? When Y driver is coming here, immediately X driver will go for what state? No, waiting state. Then immediately, as per the notification, Y driver will take the responsibility of taking this driving. Now Y driver continued as taking the responsibility of drive the bus. He started bus, then again is going on. Up to how much time that up to how much time that Y driver is taking the responsibility of driving the bus? No. All right, almost all 3 hours of time here up to 1 o'clock. When the time is 1 o'clock, now immediately Y driver is giving information to the giving notification to the X driver. My turn is completed. Now you have to come here. You have to take the steering. All right, sir. Like this here, that Y driver will give a notification. After giving this notification, Y driver will go to what state here? No, waiting state here. Y driver will go for what there? Waiting state now. It's okay. Then immediately by receiving this notification, what X driver has to do there? X driver has to come into the steering. He will take the steering, then he will drive the bus next to 3 hours of time. When the time is like what there? 5 o'clock, then immediately X driver will give a notification to Y driver. Now my turn is completed. Now you have to come to the steering, then we have to start driving the bus. Meanwhile, that X driver will go for what there? Waiting state. Now already Y driver is in waiting or not? Now immediately Y driver will take the responsibility and Y driver will drive the bus. All right, so now 5 o'clock to what next one can know? 8 o'clock. When the time is 8 o'clock in Mumbai, driving bus is a horrible. Even at least in Hyderabad, within 1.5 hour of time, 2 hours of time, they'll be outside of the city. In a peak traffic time, 1.5 or 2 hours of time it may take to come outside of the city. But if it is a Mumbai, nearly 5 to 6 hours of time to come outside of the city. Yeah, traffic. If it's a Bangalore, we can expect it. It's a different one. It's a different story inside of the Bangalore. The traffic is too horrible. Let's leave it anyway. Now when it comes to the Y driver care, Y driver is coming to the driving the bus. All right, exactly when he is at 8 o'clock, when the time is 8 o'clock, when he reached at 8 o'clock, they might be reached to the destination. When they reach the destination, immediately Y driver will give a notification. What is that notification there? Yes, our turn is completed. The total journey is completed. Now wake up. Already he is in sleeping actually. Now wake up. We have to leave from the bus. Like this, he will get notification to what there, etc. Meanwhile, by giving this notification as per the rule, that Y driver will come for what state? No, waiting state here. All of you are getting it or not? So finally, they completed their journey. Got my point or not? Now I'm asking one question to you. Now tell me, is it a multi-threading or single threading? Multi-threading or single threading? Multitasking or single tasking? Multitasking, multi-threading only. More than one thread is executing. It's multi-threading only. But the point is what? Time sharing system, job sharing system. Multi-threading is one type of multi-threading where job sharing system is available. Other type of multi-threading is available, concurrent execution. What is the meaning of concurrent execution? No, continuously both the threads are running because of their individual works. But now I'm expecting what there, this type of communication. For example, if you are not having this kind of time sharing system, what is going to be happen there? Driver 1 is driving his bus, driver 2 is also driving another bus or same bus in a different way. But how it is possible? It is a different one. But the two drivers have to drive the bus. X driver skills are different, Y driver skills are different. Later on we can measure it. Which driver is driving more effectively? That's okay. That's a different one. In a performance tuning concept, we are going to understand it. What drivers are providing effective approaches of driving the buses? No, that's a different one. I'm not talking about it. Here only the concentration is what there. If two drivers are having communication, our journey will be safe. If two drivers are not having proper communication, our journey will not be safe. Completing task effectively by having communication between multiple threads. If communication is not available, all the threads are going to execute in their own way. In the sense, definitely data inconsistency problems here we are able to get. Wrong results we are able to get in our applications. Because of this reason only, here we have to go for what there inter-thread communication, or maybe communication between two threads, that we have to get clearly. Right, sir. Now this simple example here what I have given there. Now try to understand it. No. So the process of providing communication between more than one thread, the process of providing communication between more than one thread is called inter-thread communication. Is called as what there inter-thread communication. Example diagram I've given about this inter-thread communication, there we can understand clearly. All right, sir. Good. Next one is how we are able to achieve this inter-thread communication, by using which methods we are able to perform inter-thread communications. If you understand this point, answer is very clear. Inter-thread communication we are able to achieve. Inter-thread communication here we are able to achieve. We are able to achieve by using some predefined methods. What predefined methods here we are able to use there? In the diagram already we observed them. What are the things here we are getting there? First one is what there? Wait method. Next one is what there? Notify method, and some other method is also available, that is what there? Notify all method. But of course we are not going to use it in our applications now. Got my point or not? We are not going to use that. Of course in some situations we may use that, but later on we'll think about that situation here now. Okay, fine, sir. Now, this is like what there? This is about like what there? Inter-thread communication. Now the point is what? In Java applications, in Java applications, in Java applications, to implement inter-thread communication, to implement inter-thread communication, we have to use the following methods from java.lang.object class. These methods are not available in a thread class. These methods are available in what their object class. What are the various methods here? No, wait method. The first one is what their wait method, and the second one is what their notify method, and the third one is what their notify all methods. Notify all methods. All right, sir. Wait method, notify method. Then what next one here? No, notify all methods. Yes, sir. Clear or not? Now understand this clearly. Wait, notify all methods. Okay, fine. Next one is what? After this, after completion of this one, how we are going to use these methods here? There is a condition now. To use, or else maybe, what is the purpose of each and every method? No. What is the purpose of this wait method here? No. To keep a running thread in a waiting state. To keep a running thread in what state here? Waiting state. For the purpose we are using what method? Wait method. Notify method. To give activation state to a particular thread. To give activation state to a particular thread which is in waiting state. Next one is notify all methods. To give activation state to all the threads which are available in the waiting state. In the waiting state, only one thread is available. There we have to use notify method. If multiple threads are available, if you want to give activation for multiple threads, no, there we have to give what there? Notify all method. Right, sir. To give an activation state to a particular thread which is in waiting state, we'll use notify method. To give an activation state to all the threads which are available in the waiting state. There we have to use what there, notify all methods. All right, these methods are available in which class now? Object class, not in which class there? Thread class. These methods are not in what there? Thread class. These methods are available in which class here now? Object class only. Why sir? Why they are not in thread class? Why they are in object class no? What is the requirement of keeping them in object class? Why they are not in a thread class no? Actually, these methods are going to be utilized in multi-threading. These methods are related to multi-threading, but still they are not available in thread class. They are available in object class no? Due to the lack of this space in thread class no? Space problem no? Tell me, for what purpose? Yeah, the purpose is what? If I give something in threads now, that must be utilized in threading only, multi-threading only. But Java creators thought of it this way to notify all methods, not only in the case of threading, in general, in outside of multi-threading also they want to utilize. That's why they define them inside the object class. Because of that reason, they defined in what class there? Object class. All of you understand it clearly. But later on, what I identified, as per my observation, I didn't identify any other situation other than this multi-threading to use this wait notify all method. But still we are using them inside what there? Multi-threading only. But their thought is they want to utilize these methods for other requirements also. That's why they kept these methods inside what their object class. Moreover, they're required at each and every class commonly. Your main thread is coming there. Your main thread, if you want to control main thread there, then definitely we require these methods or not. But if they're available inside the thread class, no, separately we have to get thread class object here. So their intention is they want to utilize these methods in a generic way. That's why as per that they are given these methods inside what their object class. But as part of the observation, as per my observation, I did not find any particular situation to use this way to notify all methods without multi-threading. In multi-threading only we are able to identify what are these methods. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Okay, whatever it may be, these methods are available inside what their object class. Leave it. After completion of these methods here, then another small node type of point is like what there? What is the node type of point here? I'm telling to you. If you want to use, if you want to use wait, notify, and notify all methods inside the Java applications. If you want to use wait, notify all methods inside the Java applications, then we must provide, then we must use synchronization only. Then we must use what there? Synchronization only. If we are not using synchronization, then there is no chance of using, if you are not using synchronization, then there is no chance of using wait to notify all methods. Under the synchronization only, we are able to use wait to notify all methods. If no synchronization, no chances of using what then? These three methods directly. Okay, leave this one. After completion of this, that another point here. Where we are going to use these methods, for what purposes we are going to use this inter-thread communication, not only these methods, where we are going to utilize this inter-thread communication here now. Right, I'll give some examples here. In general, we will use inter-thread communication to provide solutions to the problems like producer consumer problem. Resource allocation algorithms are available in our operating systems. Resource allocation algorithms, where one of the algorithm is what there? Producer consumer algorithm. To provide solution for this producer consumer algorithms, there we are going to use like what there? This particular inter-thread communication. Then what is this producer consumer problem? What is the meaning of this producer consumer algorithm? Let's understand it clearly. In the producer consumer problem, both producer and consumer are two threads. Producer and consumer both are what there? Two threads. Where producer, consumer both are what there? Two threads. Where producer thread must generate an item and the consumer, then the consumer thread must consume the same item. Must consume the same item. Producer thread must generate an item. Consumer thread must consume that item. That's the actual sequence. Got or not? Here the cases I'm telling you, other cases, no. Producer thread must not generate other items without consuming an item. Producer must not produce other items without consuming the present item. Without consuming the present item. Alright, sir. Similarly, what is that another point here I'm telling there? Consumer must not consume an item without producing the present item, without producing an item. Without producing that item, how consumer is going to consume that item? No. When a producer is producing an item, then only consumer must consume that item. But without producing an item, how consumer can consume that item? Is it possible? Not possible. That's why these are the cases here we have to manage your application. Altogether, what I'm telling there, the above process must repeat infinite number of times, infinite times in the Java applications. So what exactly the point here I'm telling there? Producer produced an item, consumer consumed that item. Producer produced an item, consumer consumed that item. The same sequence you have to maintain up to the infinite number of times. Producer should not produce two items immediately. Consumer should not consume two items immediately. Producer must produce, consumer must consume. Producer produced, consumer consumed. Only this sequence we have to maintain in our applications. Has sir, got it or not? Fine, sir. Now I want to prepare an example on the basis of this. Now try to observe carefully. Example I want to prepare. Now try to understand it. All right, sir. Now in this example, what methods here we have to use now? Wait, notify, all methods are available. Three methods now. Out of these three methods now, what methods only we have to use? Wait method, damn sure. Next one is what there? Notify method here we have to use. These two methods. Is there any chance of using notify all methods? Is there any chance of using notify all method? No, only one thread is available in the waiting state. It may be producer or it may be consumer. Only one thread will be available in what there? In the like in the procedure, in the overall picture now. So in the waiting state, only one thread is going to be available. So it is not possible to use more than one thread. So because of that reason, it is not possible to use like what there? Notify all methods. But some other requirement I will take there. There I will give some assignment also. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Okay. Now here I will take an assignment. I will give that assignment. What assignment I am going to provide there in the future. Anyway, this producer consumer example I am going to prepare it now. But I am going to assign one assignment. You have to complete it. Can I explain that? What is that problem there now? There's a traffic signaling system we have to implement. Traffic police. Traffic police is one thread. Vehicles are what there? Multiple threads. You can create 5 or 10 threads with the vehicles. Vehicles thread. Traffic police thread. Signaling system is available. Right? When traffic police raised a red color streak, all the vehicles must be stopped. Understand it again. When the traffic police has raised green color stick, then all the vehicles have to be start their journey. All the vehicles must start. In a tropic, in a particular tropic signal, there this kind of situations are going to be happen. When tropic signal is giving, when a tropic police is giving red color symbol, all vehicles must be stopped. When he open like what their green color symbol, then all vehicles have to be passed that signal. This application there, what methods here we have to use? Wait method definitely we have to use. Next one is what there? Notify. Then what next one here? Notify all methods. But notify method may not be required, but okay, required. Notify method is required. Why? Because traffic police is only one thing is available, and 1 minute of time we have to make the traffic police in waiting state or not. Then after that we have to give like activation state to the traffic police or not. Wait method we have to use. But we have to keep waiting all threads at a time, and we have to keep all threads to activate at a time. So notify all method is required or not? We have to call what there? Notify all method here. So this system here we have to provide. Okay, then just as an idea, even previously I have not tried for this example. I thought of it. This application we can implement there. Okay, then try in our own way about this thought. If you're not getting it, let me practice one time. Then after that I will give that information to you, but not immediately. I need to check that application. Okay. Right, sir. Now coming to this producer consumer problem. Producer must produce an item, consumer must consume that item. Okay, fine. Now I want to take a class K. I want to take class K. All of you put more concentration. Inside the class K, two methods I want to take. One method is representing producer method, producer implementation. Another method is what there? Consumer implementation. So now here, public synchronized void produce. Similarly, public synchronized void consume. Producer thread will access produce method. Consumer thread will access what method? Can know consume method. Okay, fine. Producer thread will access produce method. Consumer thread will access what their consume method. Now inside this implementation, I'm telling you. Now try to understand clearly. Boolean flag is equal to true. I have taken. What is the purpose of this flag variable here I have taken? I want to utilize this flag variable for representing the statuses for both the threads. What is it actually? If a flag value is true, if the flag value is true, if the flag value is true, producer thread must produce an item, meanwhile consumer thread must be in waiting state. If the flag value is true, producer is producing an item, meanwhile consumer must be in what there? Waiting state. If a flag value is equal to false, producer must be in waiting state, consumer must consume that item. Consumer is consuming an item. If flag value is false, consumer is consuming an item. Producer must be in what there? Waiting state. If flag value is true, producer must produce an item, consumer must be in waiting state. Tell me, sir, if flag value is true, what we are thinking now? Producer producing, meanwhile consumer is in what there? Waiting state. If flag value is false, what we are thinking there? Consumer is consuming an item, meanwhile producer must be in what there? Waiting state. Right, sir. Good. Now let us implement produce functionality. Inside the produce functionality, first of all, we have to take try and catch. Why? Because wait method is able to raise interrupted exception. To handle it, we have to use what there? Try and catch. Print stack trace method. It's okay. Now inside this, how many times that loop here we have to maintain? No, infinite number of times. That output here we have to display how many times? No, infinite number of times. Now here I want to take a variable, count variable, item count. Initially it is 0. Okay, count is 0. Now understand it. First, who has to take the responsibility of providing output? The producer or consumer? Producer. First, producer must produce an item. Am I right or not? Then immediately what I am telling there, count is equal to count plus 1. Then after that, system.out println of producer produced. item, producer produced, item plus count. Producer produced item 0, item 1, item 2, item 3. Like this, we are going to get some output. When producer produced an item, immediately flag is equal to false. We have to change the status to activate the consumer. And before that, I need to specify this point also. What is that point here? If a flag double equals to true, if a flag double equals to true, double equals to true in the sense what? Producer producing an item. Flag is equal to false. Next one is, we need to give a notification to the consumer or not? We must give a notification to what? Their consumer. To give a notification to consumer, what method here we have to call there? Notify. After giving notification to the consumer, until the consumption of the present item, producer must be in waiting state or not? Wait method. Now tell me what is going on here. What exactly the functionality here we implemented? Now tell me. If a flag double equals to true, what is the meaning of it now? Producer must produce an item. Meanwhile, consumer must be in waiting state. All right, count is equal to count plus 1. Item number we increased, item count we increased. When we increase that count value, it means that indirectly item is produced. Immediately we provided producer produced item colon item count. Flag is equal to false. Why have I taken this false now? To give next turn to the consumer. Then what we are providing there? Notify. Then what next one can know? Wait. The producer thread must be in waiting state under the consumption of the item by the consumer. Okay, now it is completed. Next one is, for example, else support. For example, else support. What is the meaning of this else support, sir? Now tell me. What you are thinking about this else support now? Else support in the sense, flag value is what there? False. When flag value is false, who is performing the activity? Consumer must perform an activity. Now we are in which thread now? Now we are in which method? For reduce method. So when item is consumed by consumer, then what is the state of the producer now? Waiting state. Got it or not? Say this logic once again. If flag is equal to true, implement all this steps. Flag is equal to false, simply make the producer in what their waiting state. Sir, got it or not? So once again, now try to check this total logic. What I given that logic, now try to check it. If this is the main logic. If you understand this logic, consumer functionality is very, very simple. First of all, understand this total logic. Is it clear? After completion of this, we have to give the functionality for consume. If you understand this, there we have to give the functionality for what there? Consume method. Shall we go for this consume method functionality? All right, sir. First of all, let me take try catch exception. Inside this exception dot print stack trace method. Infinite number of times here we have to perform the actions while true. Now tell me, this is consume functionality. Then what we have to know, if flag double equals to true, the flag value is true, who must be inactive now? Remember it, if flag value is true, who must be inactive now? Producer. Producer must produce an item. Meanwhile, what is the state of the consumer? Waiting state. So here we have to provide what there? Waiting state. Else in the sense? Else in the sense, what is the flag value? False. When flag value is false, we must be inactive now. Consumer must be inactive. So consumer must consume that item or not? All right, so now system.out.println of consumer consumed. item plus count. Consumer consumed item count. Got it or not? Then when item is consumed, already producer is in waiting state. Item is consumed. Next we have to give turn to the producer or not? Right, sir. To give the turn to the producer, flag is equal to, then we have to provide what there true. Already is false. That's why we are coming to this else part. Then after that, we must give a notification to the producer or not. So here we have to call what there notify. After giving notification, consumer must come to the waiting state or not. That's it. Now understand the sequence of steps now. If the flag value is true, producer must be in active, but consumer must be in waiting state. That's why I have written what there wait method. Else part in the sense what their flag value is of false. Means that consumer must consume that item. So it's not outed println of consumer consumed item hyphen count. Next one is the flag is equal to true. What is the meaning of this flag is equal to true? No. What is the meaning of this flag is equal to true? No. Next turn must be given to what their producer. Next one is a notify method. Producer is already in waiting state now. Give activation state to the producer. Then after that, after giving this activation state, that consumer must be in what method there? What state now? Waiting state. Completed, sir. Now, totally produce and consume both the methods functionality. Both the methods we implemented in which class now? Class A. Am I right or not? Now we need to prepare two threads. One is producer thread, other one is consumer thread. In both the threads, I need to pass the same A class object. Both the threads must come to A class object where they have to execute produce method by the producer thread and consume method by the consumer thread. No. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Now see this one. How we are going to implement this? Class producer extends thread. Inside this thread now, then here we have to use a small a producer of a small a. This dot a is equal to a run method. Inside this run method, there we have to use what there? A dot produce method. This is what thread actually? Producer thread. So producer thread must access what method there? Produce method. Producer thread will come to the A class produce method or not? Okay, fine. Similarly, I need to prepare what there? Consumer no. Class consumer extends thread. Extends what there? Thread. Class consumer extends what there? Thread. Now inside this, what we have to take now? A small a. Next one is what there? Consumer of a small a. Then inside this dot a is equal to a semicolon. Then after that, here we have to provide what method? Run method. Inside this run method, a dot consume method. That means same A class object we provided to the producer and as well as to what their consumer. In both the cases, we are calling produce method and consume method. So producer thread will access produce method. Consumer thread will access what their consume method. Both the threads are calling their respective methods. When we go to these respective methods now, their implementation is available to produce an item and to consume an item. Right, sir? Leave this one. Now coming to this main class and main method. In a main class and main method, first of all, what we have to do now? First of all, here we have to provide like what there? A small a is equal to new a. A small a is equal to new a. Object we created for class A. Object we created. After that, producer is equal to new producer of A. Object we created. Next one is what there? Consumer is equal to new consumer of A. Two threads objects here we created. Next one is what there after this? Now here we need to call start methods. Producer dot start methods. Next one is what there? Consumer dot start methods. Both here we called here start methods. In both the cases we created clearly. If I execute this program, what output here we are expecting now? What output here we are expecting here? If we execute this program, producer produced an item, consumer consumed another item, producer produced an item, consumer consumed an item. Like this, the same sequence we are able to get up to infinite number of times. Right now, understand it now. I want to run this program. Yes, sir. Just observe the output. What type of output we are getting now? I stop this process here. See the sequence now. Producer, producer, consumer, consumed. Producer, produced, consumer, consumed. Same sequence here we maintain how many times now? Infinite number of times here we maintain same sequence. Producer, producer, consumer, consumed. Producer, producer, consumer, consumed. That numbers we have given there. That number is what they're actually. That number is item number. How many items? Item number. Here also we have to understand. Producer, producer, item 1. Consumer consumed item 1. Producer produced item 2. Consumer consumed item 2. In that way, here we are expecting that output. That's it. Now the same output here we are getting it or not? Right, so now this is exactly the point here what I'm telling to you about this producer consumer problem by using inter-thread communication. Now tell me how that output we are getting in a particular order. How output is generated in a particular order is in the sense what there producer producer consumer consumer producer producer consumer in the same order we are getting. Producer is not producing more than one item at a time. Consumer is not consuming more than one item at a time. But order it is maintained, you know. Then how it is possible with the proper internal communication or not? The proper internal communication between both the threads only it is possible. If communication is not available, then we are able to get the outputs in a zigzag manner. Means that uneven kind of output we are able to get. At a time, producer can produce 10 items. At a time, consumer can consume 2 items. Without consuming the item, producer can produce. Without consuming the, without providing the item, consumer can consume the items. This kind of situations we are able to get if proper communication is not available. Now, this is a pure controlling over the threads execution. It's a pure threads execution. Threads controlling. Now, threads execution is in our hand. When we call wait, thread will go to the waiting state. When we call notify, then only thread will come out from waiting state and it will continue its execution part. If you get me point or not? Now, by having this type of control, we can prepare our applications as per our requirement. Any type of application there we can prepare. Depends on our requirement. Sleep method. Some time period, if you want to stop the program execution, we can use sleep method. But if you want to keep a thread in waiting state, there we can use what their wait method. If you want to give a notification for the waited thread, then give a notify method. If more than one thread is in waiting state, then give activation state to all the threads. Yes, notify all method we can implement. Yes, sir. Are you forgetting it or not? So this is the best example for what there is an inter-thread communication. Inter-thread communication output here we are getting because of this particular concept only. Right, sir. Now this program is completed. Now try to understand the content here. The program here I want to copy. Right, sir. Now infinite output here we are able to get. Depends on a requirement. Output is what there. Infinite output. That we have to identify producer and consumer. Right, sir. This topic is completed. Producer inter-thread communication topic is completed. The next topic in multi-threading is what there thread scope or thread local or thread scope. Thread local or thread scope. Right, sir. So can I discuss this topic on tomorrow? Anyway, today's small sessions only. Right, sir. Then don't worry. Then I will discuss about this topic here tomorrow. Max, as per the concept, as per the commitment, what I have knowledge on multi-threading, I'm going to complete it. Thread local, another one is what there? Deadlocks. These two concepts only remaining here. Then tomorrow I'll finish both the concepts here. Next day onwards, I'll go for what there? IOSIMs. And regarding this multi-threading, after completion of the collection frameworks, but in the previous batches I have not discussed there this topic, but in this batch I want to discuss about it. Concurrency API, the topic there. But how much it is possible, let me check it. At the end of the course, I'm planning to complete that particular topic, not immediately. But first of all, let me complete this collection framework and as well as like what there, this multi-threading, depending on our time. If you're all of you are interested for it, then we are going to take this one. But at any cost, in the January end, I must start spring framework 10 to 11:30. As a schedule, as per my schedule. No delays over it. I have to complete everything before the time. January end, I must start what there? That is spring framework. Okay. Right. Meanwhile, advanced Java almost all we are going to be almost all 70% of the advanced Java might be completed. 70% is in the sense like not like that. 50% might be completed. Then after completion of this advanced Java, I may start with what there Hibernate. So in these two timings, we are going to complete the remaining courses. Okay. Right, sir. So as for that, we have to complete our content here. Okay. So depending on your time care, depending on our cooperation, then I have to think about what there that concurrency concept. It's also an important topic. We require that, but previously I have not included the topic. At least in our batch, I want to include the content. Okay. Right, sir. Take few minutes break and come back now. Quick break. Then I will start what there. This advanced Java content. Take few minutes of time. Hibernate, it will maybe after advanced Java, I'll start it.